Hello everyone, and welcome to another video on the Juice Master Gaming YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about what potential arenas we could see in the AEW video game at whatever point in the future it comes out. There was an interview with Kenny Omega on the Wrestling Observer radio at the weekend where he was talking about his injuries and his potential time to be coming back to the ring. He also mentioned the AEW video game, and they said that it's still under development and they may possibly be able to show us some more footage in and around the time of the AEW Revolution pay-per-view, which is in a few weeks, so that could be good. He also implied that the game won't necessarily be to the same level as WWE 2K's production, but I think that remains to be seen. Obviously the 2K game is coming out a long time before the AEW one, so I think there's a lot of opportunity there for AEW and Ukes to look at that, see what they can learn from it and improve upon. But it's interesting that he's playing it down at this point. So that's the only other new news that we've had recently. So in terms of today's main topic, arena types. Now I think this is something, when you look at WWE games and that, you know, they're big on, of course, WWE has had far many more years of existence and pay-per-views and events, some events which are now defunct, but of course they can bring all of those back into their game as they wish. Events like King of the Ring, etc., and other retired pay-per-views, Armageddon, Backlash, and the like. So I think as far as AEW goes, of course there isn't necessarily going to be as big a choice, but there are some things that they can do to really enhance and maximise the gaming experience for players. So of course there's the Dynamite Arena, there's the Daily's Place Arena, which, as I've said in a previous video, they can extend into the main Jacksonville Jaguars stadium to have the Stadium Stampede matches, which I think would look very, very good within a game. If they could actually build that in, it would look very grandiose, but I think it's entirely possible, especially on a high-end console. Other arenas that we've seen more recently are the Arthur Ashe Stadium at Flushing Meadows Tennis Centre in New York. That being a 25,000-seater arena decked in AEW garb would look absolutely awesome. Hopefully that's in. Again, we're just making an assumption here that these things can be put in. I have no details of any arena types yet. Of course, we've seen the Dynamite Arena, that's a given. There'll of course be Rampage and the 4 pay-per-views being Revolution, Double or Nothing, Full Gear, etc. And then some of their special events, such as Beach Bash and other themed evenings that they've had on Dynamite. That could be something which would enable them to change it up. Again, I'm assuming there'll be some kind of create an arena mode where if you then want to create your WWE type arenas, ECW, WCW, you'll be able to do that. But again, as I said earlier, they're not going to have as big a repertoire to choose from. But that doesn't mean that what they won't have, they can't do a good job with. And if you take your opponent backstage, which should be like in No Mercy in the N64 age, where you can just free roam your guys from the front of the arena backstage as you wish. Hopefully they could do something where maybe each arena has a different setup backstage, so it's not totally generic. And maybe that's something that they could achieve with a smaller amount of arenas that they have to build. It would actually be a little bit less work for them to develop and remodel a backstage for each area. That's very much a nice to have, I know. I would just settle for every backstage area being present and not necessarily all having to be different from one another. But that would be something that would be pretty cool if you could do that. I'm very surprised that in the WWE 2K game, the latest one, that you can only have 1v1 backstage. It's just unbelievable that 20 plus years after No Mercy came out, where you could have tag teams or fatal 4-ways backstage, the limitations on that are so. And I find that remarkable that such a limitation is put upon that game. You should be able to take your opponent wherever you want. If you want to beat them up in the corridor, if you want to beat them up in the gorilla position, if you want to take them into catering, you should be able to do that. It shouldn't, and if you want to do that with 2 guys or 3 guys, 4 guys, whatever the maximum number of people are that are allowed in the ring, whether that's a 6-man tag, trios, etc. All of this should be possible. We don't want to be seeing limitations now in this next gen console age, 20 years after the N64 is out. If I sound like I'm getting a bit hot about it, it's because it really does peeve me that we can't progress. The WWE games, of course there's going to be some things that are good about them. I'm not here to tarnish and slate their product, but there's some simple things there that they should be able to put in that make that game good. I am hoping it's a good game, and I will be talking about that when it's out. I just want to be able to see some more reviews on it before I can formulate my own opinion. But I don't think that's a good thing, that there's automatically some limitations. I want to be able to take my opponent, take them into the crowd, fight in the crowd. I want to fight up the stairs. I want to fight on the concourses. All of that, again, should be possible. So, a couple of things there that we can think about in terms of what we want in this game. Please put in the comments how you feel about freedom of movement within the arena, backstage setups and arena types, which is of course the main point of this video. I'm not too sure if there's anything else that I've missed out on there, but of course there have been a number of specifically themed Dynamite shows, which is mere dressage really, not necessarily an entire arena change setup, but of course the cage matches of the War Games, Blood and Guts type event we've already mentioned as well, so there could be the possibility for one arena to have the double ring, which would be really sweet. So hopefully all of these good things can be in, guys. Please discuss in the comments if there's anything else that I've missed or you want to bring to my attention. There will be some more videos upcoming where we discuss more elements of the game. And I'll be looking into other wrestling games as well, such as the WWE game, such as the Wrestling Code, such as Ultra Violence. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up, guys, so it's going to be exciting times. Let's just give us some release dates, and it will help the content creators like myself actually have something to work towards. But in the meantime, have yourselves a good day, everyone. All the best. Juicy Gaming out.